Good day, my people. You're welcome to today's political broadcast. Today is the 5th of November, 2025, and we are still discussing Nigerian politics. Now, let's talk about Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu's case is very, very complicated. I repeat, Nnamdi Kanu's case is very, very complicated. It will be difficult to give judgment on this particular case. Omotosho is between the devil and the deep blue sea. The Nigerian government is under a trap set by Nnamdi Kanu. If they give Nnamdi Kanu judgment the way the case is now, that means the government of the day have shown that it is persecuting. It has not given justice. It is persecuting Nnamdi Kanu. And look at the Trump situation. US accusing Nigeria of Christian genocide. And in this whole thing, this whole pressure, the Nigerian government is not giving a judgment to Nnamdi Kanu, and the judgment is not seen to be served as justice. Man, that's a big problem. So this case is complicated. It is wise of Nnamdi Kanu and the Defense Council not to continue defending this case. Like I said, in the first place, we shouldn't have gone past, we shouldn't have gotten into the point whereby the prosecution council will now be presenting evidence against Nnamdi Kanu. Then now, defend now. They now realize that, man, if we go on defending this case, my brother, it is not emotions, it is not anything. If Nnamdi Kanu goes on defending this case, they will sentence him. The last drama they had, Nnamdi Kanu had with the Omotosho, he refused. He refused defending himself. Which law are you using to try me? Which law are you using to try me? For instance, a man has a child, and the child is being disciplined for something he did. Then the child asks the father, "Father, tell me, why are you punishing me?" Yet the father cannot explain to the child that this is why I'm punishing you. That is the case of Nnamdi Kanu. The Court of Appeal have ruled on the judgment. The Supreme Court also ruled on a particular judgment. See, I'm not here to explain everything to you, but I will give you an insight. Let's look at this. Now, Section 36, Subsection 9. No one shall be tried again for the same offense. Listen to it. No one shall be tried again for the same offense. But yet, the same offense that the appeal court quashed, they are trying Nnamdi Kanu again for the same offense. So what law would back the government of the day trying Nnamdi Kanu again for the same offense? That's why I say it is complicated. The highest thing that will happen is for Justice Omotosho to recuse himself from the case, or they give a judgment that is perceived that the Nigerian government has not given justice. That is the fact. I tell you. But if Nnamdi Kanu does the mistake to defend himself, say he wants to defend himself, continue in this case, my brother, they go jail him. They go jail him. Section 1, Subsection 3. Section 1, Subsection 3 of the Constitution. If any act or judgment violates the Constitution, it is void. Even the Supreme Court cannot legalize illegality. We know that the Supreme Court, whatever the Supreme Court says is final, but the Supreme Court cannot violate the Constitution. So the Constitution says that no one shall be tried again for the same offense. Court of Appeal said, this is Nnamdi Kanu, bail him, he has nothing to answer. Let the government of the day explain to us how they brought him into Nigeria from Kenya. Some lawyers are saying that, no, we understand the case, but we can still bring you in. If you go through the normal process of the law and we give you judgment, you will now later sue the government of how they brought you in. We can bring you in illegally. That is what some lawyers are saying. We can bring you in illegally, but you can, for instance now, somebody is an armed robber. And that armed robber, he did a particular community is looking for him. They now went to another community and smuggled him from that community. For the fact that he's there, he must face the whatever crimes. That's what some people are are saying. So if you face your crime, later you can sue us on how we criminally brought you into the community. That is what some lawyers are saying. But he says that no one shall be tried again for the same offense. The Supreme Court squashed what the Court of Appeal said, the verdict, releasing Nnamdi Kanu on bail. So they are saying that the Supreme Court is not higher than the Constitution. Section 1, subsection 3 of the Constitution. If any act or judgment violates the Constitution, it is void. Even the Supreme Court cannot legalize illegality. When the Court of Appeal frees someone, as in the case of Nnamdi Kanu, detaining someone after discharge is illegal under both the Constitution and Article 7 of the African Charter, which Nigeria is domesticated. So Nnamdi Kanu's case is complicated. Now, what should we do as Igbo people? Because, like I said, you see, a Yoruba man will say, I'm Oduduwa, and he will be proud of it. Igbo man will say, I'm Biafra. He should be proud of it, irrespective of what other people think about you. What people think about you in Nigeria does not matter. It is what you think about yourself, because Nigeria is not a country that is united. We don't like ourselves. So if you are looking at what people will say, you are living your life by what people will say, my brother, you have no identity. You see, Tinubu now is president. He put Yoruba people left, right, center. He doesn't care what you are saying. Even now, people are even rushing to enter Tinubu's party, the APC party, all over the country. He stood his ground. He's not like Jonathan, that did a big disservice to his people, and they push him away like rats. Jonathan was not firm. If he were to be firm like Wike, Erufai, or even Tinubu, they will not have bullied him like that. So, as an Igbo person, your Biafran is normal. I'm telling you, you're Biafran, we are proud. So, an average Biafran, Igbo man is in custody with Nnamdi Kanu, an average. An average. Look at what Umahi said about ESN, that he was under attack. For some time, we are not being hearing about it. Umahi is not speaking on social media. We are not heard about his comments or what he has done. After that statement, he said he knew that even in the eyes of the Nigerian government, ESN is illegal, but these guys have done a lot of job pushing away insecurity, the Fulani, from the bushes. IPOB is not like that illegal organization. You know, when you go on social media, people say IPOB this, IPOB that, terrorist IPOB, especially northern Nigeria, and APC apologists. They are the ones that are saying such. But IPOB can hold protests outside the country. Can Boko Haram hold protests outside the country? Can they even hold protests in Nigeria? Can Al-Qaeda hold protests outside the country? But the same IPOB they are calling terrorist organization can hold protests, can hold meetings outside Nigeria, in civilized nations. It tells you about your identity is who you are. So what can we do as Igbo people? My brother, I will repeat it again. The biggest mistake we did was how we could allow the Nigerian government lay hold on Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya. See, every other thing you are saying is story. The government of the day, I have said it before, cannot even give its own people justice. It is you that is perceived as a threat. They will come and give justice. So if you are sitting down there thinking that they will serve justice to Nnamdi Kanu, my brother, you might be mistaken. The only thing that can happen is political solution. And would the government of the day bring that, would they offer political solution for Nnamdi Kanu? That's the point. Nnamdi Kanu, on his part, the conditions they are giving him, would he accept those conditions? That's why I said this case is complicated. So with all these things going on, because normally 3 things will happen, or 2 things. Number 1, if they give Nnamdi Kanu judgment, he will appeal. Normally, if Omotosho muzzle up and say Nnamdi Kanu is guilty, they will appeal, and the appeal will run on that level. They will not come back to square one, and Judge Omotosho might recuse himself from the case, or the defense counsel will say, we don't trust in the judgment of Omotosho, give us another person, and it will linger for long. And if the government of the day go on to give, Nnamdi Kanu is refusing to enter defense, and the judge is telling him that you are refusing to enter defense, Abi. Yeah, you are refusing. I give you till so date. If you don't do your defense, I'm forced to pronounce a judgment on you. So they are forcing the hand of the government to play on the bad side of history, to be in the bad book of the United Nations. They are pushing the hands of the federal government to look bad. So the Igbos should find a way. Let us look inwards and put our house in order, so that we can launch again. Because Nigeria as a country, this is a very, very good opportunity for us to look at how we can enrich ourselves politically, economically in the Southeast region. Because the times we are in, Nigeria may not exist as you think it would, because I don't want to say some things, because number one, if you say it, people can take it in different light. They can understand it from different perspectives. Don't think the Fulani is sleeping. Don't think that the West is sleeping. Don't think that the West wants to give you Biafra without anything. Don't think so. Just know that it is you that will look after yourself first before person will look after you. If you don't bring out your hands, nobody will carry you into their arms. These are the realities. And this is what we are telling our people. Now, all these people that are saying that Nnamdi Kanu must come out. My brother, if they jail Nnamdi Kanu, what will happen afterwards? Would you go and attack the Nigerian government and do this and that? Would that be the whole idea of the whole story? I know they will not kill him. If they jail him, highest he will come out. They will not kill him. I tell you, they will not kill him because they know the implications. I know that one. So as it stands today, the Igbos need to look back into Igbo land and begin to build the old ruins, build the systems, build our legacies, build everything that concerns us. Let's defend our integrity as Igbo people. Let's come together and begin to have dialogue and begin to speak on how we can push an Igbo-centric politics that will better our people. Let us think on how we can support ourselves, help ourselves. I've been talking about people that want to carry all their livelihood and put in another region. When it happens now, they send you back. You start crying and shedding tears. This and that. I'm shedding tears and that. If it happens, in case it happens, that is why you need not to put all your eggs in one basket. So Biafra is something that will not end. Biafra is something that nobody can stop because Biafra existed before Nigeria. Nigeria is an artificial creation. According to Obafemi Awolowo, he said Nigeria is a mere geographical it doesn't have any substance. It's just a mere geographical location. That's what Awolowo said. So as it stands today, the Igbos need to look inward and harmonize themselves. Let's come together and unite politically. Let's have an economic outlook for the Southeast. Let the governors come together, speak in one voice. That's the only thing we can do for now. I tell you, because if you are fighting for Biafra whilst you are divided, see, forget whether the politicians are not aligning or not. If the people can come together and speak in one voice, change the political trajectory of the Southeast. Yes, pressure your governors. Let them know that this is the mind of the people and this is what we are going to do. You cannot fight for Biafra in isolation, because it is even the rat inside the house that will spoil your show. I tell you. You see what Tinubu is doing to the Fulani? Why is it that the Fulani is weaker now? It's because he has been able to enter into them and dismantle them from within. Whatever the Fulani is pushing now, they are pushing it individually. They are not pushing as a group or as a region. And it will not be powerful. If Tinubu conduct election in Northern Nigeria today, the APC is winning elections in Northern Nigeria. So as a divided people, do you think you can achieve anything much? Let's talk to ourselves. What do we want? Let there be a conversation all around. Let people come. It is not about Uzo approach or I hate you, you hate me, I fight you, you fight me, I kick you, you kick me. It is not about that. I tell you. See, Nnamdi Kanu will not be coming out under Bola Ahmed Tinubu's regime. Will not be coming out. Let that one be the reality. Let us tell ourselves the truth. Will not be coming out under this Bola Ahmed Tinubu regime. Number one on his mind is to complete 8 years. Even if it is a P2B will not just release Nnamdi Kanu like that, unless there's an agreement. I tell you, Tinubu will not just release Nnamdi Kanu like that because their political interest, their interest to these things. You can see the pressure on Tinubu now. Because of the whatever he's doing, he challenged the US and everything. You can see the pressure on him. The US can even want to infiltrate Nigerian politics and also push him out of power, sabotage his government. So the Fulani, we know the Fulani, the British, they don't want this Nnamdi Kanu to be out. They don't want him out. So he is going to be careful with whatever he's doing. You will see that they will be adjourning the case. We know there is marginalization. It is clear. But we will not dwell on the marginalization and stop doing what we are doing. I will not sit at home sit down home and start crying marginalization. I will not go to farm. I will not go to school. I will not have a skill. I will not do business. I will not aspire. I will not do tech. I cannot sit down home and start crying there's marginalization and not do anything. We should not dwell on the marginalization of the Igbo people. Let's see how we can bring our best minds. There are always best minds in every tribe. We can identify them. Let them come in a round table and chart a course for the Igbo people. I tell you, if you have Biafra today, you cannot live in isolation. Yes, there must be a clever pathway to achieving Biafra. If Nnamdi Kanu comes out today, it is very, very wonderful, because Nnamdi Kanu is that unifying voice that we need. I might tell this, you may not agree. Nnamdi Kanu is that unifying voice that we need. If he speaks, everybody listen. That is what we need as Igbo people. Because now we are so divided. There's nobody that will come and speak and everyone will listen. That is one of the reasons I want Nnamdi Kanu to be released. We know that the governors know that if Nnamdi Kanu comes out, they become irrelevant to the people. Everybody wants to listen to Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu gave the governors conditions to draw Biafra. And I think Nnamdi Kanu can revisit those conditions. Now that everybody is competing, there's restructuring going on systematically. Everybody is trying to prove a point. My region can be better than yours. So if he's released, I'm advocating for his release. If he's been released, then we can push for building an Igbo nation that will lead to a Biafra. I'm telling you, we can push for constitutional amendment and review. That is why I'm against Benjamin Kalu, whatever they are pushing. Indigenization for what? To remain in one Nigeria. We are not part of one Nigeria. You would think what we are doing is not influential or is not going far. See, the only time you can make a change is when you control the narrative. Everybody will come to the realization that Nigeria needs to be restructured. With what we are doing, everybody will come to the realization that Nigeria needs to be restructured. And we know what we are doing and we are consistent in it. So if the mentality, if people's mind are being pointed out to the right direction, then action will follow. So we are saying it today. What we need is a strong economy, Igbo economy. I'm telling you, if it is from there we can push. We can push. But all this fighting in batches and batches and batches, my brother, we have tried it over the years. It has not worked. You cannot keep on doing something over and over again and you expect the same result. You need to try something new. If you are going to your village today, look at your community. What can I do to make this place Dubai? Look at your constituency. What can we do politically? Call your brothers and sisters. What can we do? Let's make Aligbo great again. Have those conversations. You see people who have ideas that they can bring and will harmonize it and work towards it. It becomes our agenda. You see, a united person, it is difficult to defeat a united person. But if you are divided, your defeat will be legendary. I tell you, if you are divided, you see, in Samanekwa's autopilot, you have two factions. Two factions. People fighting themselves. Ogen Kere and the deputy. In the DOS disagree with Samanekwa. They are not on one page. If Samanekwa and Co do this one, DOS will say, no, it's not like that. Okay, Biafra Remembrance Day. Samanekwa will do their own. DOS will do another one. If we keep on going like this, how do you achieve? You cannot achieve. So much so that the people, your people are the ones against you. You cannot achieve anything. Let's all start building structures and narratives that fit the Igbo people, and the Igbo people will key into home and abroad. We can do a lot. The world is a big place that you can do anything. The space, the air is spacious enough for us to fly in today's world. Don't you know that before the Civil War, Igbos were intellectuals, not even necessarily traders. We are traders, but we are more of intellectuals. An Igbo man is a creator, an innovator. That is why when Igbo is a mechanic, he does it very well. If he's into tech, he does it very well. If he's into phone, just that we don't have the community of people that can push us to become a giant influence. The Yorubas have a community that push them up. The Igbos, we are good individually, but there's no community that push us up. Let us build a community. It is going to be best. Let's build a foundation for Biafra and start building on that foundation. If we don't have a foundation, it will be easier for the enemy to bring us down. Just look at how they took Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya for 7 to 9 days. The people that were in charge of his whereabouts could not explain to people where Nnamdi Kanu was. They didn't say anything. Irresponsible people surrounding Nnamdi Kanu. Nigerian government all of a sudden had access to him and seized him, and nothing was being said. You can see how we are not building anything. People are just, see, my brother, Nnamdi Kanu, I know he's going to come out there, but not under the terms that we are seeing. And I would advise that they should not even continue with the defense, because it's going to be a great indictment. You use your hand and put yourself in trouble. Let the government of the day sentence Nnamdi Kanu with the whole brouhaha. Supreme Court said this one, Appeal Court said this one, Constitution said that one. They clash themselves. Let the federal government do so. So before the world, we can see. And you know, say now there's pressure on Nigeria. Let me see how Tinubu will manage the whole situation. Let me see how Tinubu will manage the whole situation. Some people want Nnamdi Kanu to be out. Some people don't want Nnamdi Kanu to be out. Those that don't want Nnamdi Kanu to be out is because of their selfish reason. Those that want Nnamdi Kanu to be out is because of how they are being marginalized in Nigeria. Yes, because of how they are being marginalized in Nigeria. Some people don't want Biafra. They want a strong Igbo nation in Nigeria, while some want a total Biafra. So where do we stand? Where should we pitch our tent now? Where should we carry our bag and baggages go? Because Nigeria, as I speak to you, Nigeria at the moment is on life support. You know go believe. I told some people, I said it before that Tinubu may be Nigeria's last president. I said it before, but you know go believe. You see, now US is interested in Nigeria. You go think say US we want enter Nigeria, they no go enter. See down there, they look now. They go shock everybody when you see them put. Whether they are already in Nigeria, you know. Whether France they're in Nigeria, you know. So that's the reality.